Here we go, just about set to turn them loose for the Super Trucks at Langley Speedway. A 25-lap race. Robbie Davis, Chase McAdams, Troy Turnage, Tommy Nixon, Jonathan Mullet, Curtis Hughes, Dan McAdams, Buck Munger, Debbie Biesecker, Corey Millard, Chris Bechtel, and Chris Munger all set to go and compete for the Larry King Law Super Trucks, a 25-lap race. Dave Terrell, our pace truck driver, takes the Toyota Tundra down the pit road. Jimmy Walker, our flagman, with a green light ready to be turned on, and the green flag in the breeze. And here we go. They race it out side by side, and the 17 gets a good bite. Robbie Davis will take over the lead at side by side for the second spot. Troy Turnage down low. Chase McAdams on the high side. They bump a little bit. 71 now gets a piece of the action. Jonathan Mullet, he looks on the inside of the 90 of Troy Turnage to take that position away. Tommy Nixon back there in the 8 truck. The man who's got the most wins in this division, the Larry King Law Super Trucks. 22 is off the pace. That's Dan McAdams. He takes his truck down as far as he can on the bottom of the racetrack. Tommy Nixon leads the points with 6 wins, 2 wins for Robbie Davis, 1 for Chase McAdams, and 1 for Curtis Hughes. Robbie Davis with a comfortable lead. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there together, nose to tail. Jonathan Mullet, Troy Turnage, Tommy Nixon, and Chase McAdams. That's the 71, the 90, the 8, the 62. Buck Munger back in 6th, and Curtis Hughes, Chris Munger, Chris Bechtel, Corey Millard, Debbie Biesecker, and Dan McAdams well off the pace in truck 22. Tommy Nixon trying to find a way to get by the 90 of Troy Turnage for that 3rd spot. Troy in the 90 truck. He follows his tailgate very close. The 62 Chase McAdams about 2.5 truck lengths behind Tommy Nixon. Robbie Davis of Chesapeake continues to lead, last year's champion with dub and medal, Standard Welding, PNC Mortgage, and Signs and Graphics to go. The 71 of Jonathan Mullet, he's really come on here lately. Side-by-side battle between the 2 and 52. Chris Bechtel and Chris Munger. The other Chris takes it over. He's got 8th, Chris Munger in the 2. 62 moving up. Chase McAdams, Troy Turnage falling back a little bit. Tommy Nixon was able to get by. He's up to the 3rd spot. Chase McAdams 4th. Troy Turnage back to 5th. 7 laps completed out of 25. Robbie Davis losing ground a little bit to that 71 of Jonathan Mullet, who's closing in. So is Tommy Nixon in the 8 truck. First, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, nose to tail. Or I should say nose to tailgate. Robbie Davis, Jonathan Mullet, Tommy Nixon, Chase McAdams, Troy Turnage, the 17, 71, 8, 62, and 90. It's lap 10. 15 laps to go for the Larry King Law Super Trucks. Tommy Nixon, our points leader so far for 2011, from Norfolk, Virginia. JES Foundation and Basement Repair, Mazelle's Front End Service, Athlete's Edge, Allergy and Asthma Specialists helping him out, along with Custom Painting of Virginia, Heritage Motors, and also G. Nichols Carburetors, Distributors, and Rear Ends. Chase McAdams, another guy that's got a win this year in a good spot tonight. He's in 4th. With the Bruce Howard Contracting Advance Auto Parts Dodge from Pocosin in the 62. Being challenged, Tommy Nixon. Chase McAdams up in the 62 to the 3rd spot. 14, Debbie Biesecker sideways into the wall, just a little little bit with a quick tease, 14. And the caution flag is out for the first time on lap 13 for Debbie Biesecker of Suffolk. The quick tease, Gene Nichols and Carl's Racing Products, number 14.
Langley Speedway. A big thank you to Old Point National Bank, who has been the sponsor and is the official bank of Langley Speedway. Old Point National Bank, serving Hampton Roads with 20 branches and 60 ATMs. Now with ATMs in all 32 Walgreens throughout Hampton Roads.
A couple of trucks chose to use the cone. We'll see who's going to take advantage of that. As the 90, Troy Turnage, who's on the outside of the 17 of Robbie Davis as they get set to go back to green. The 2 also, that's Curtis Hughes and Chris Munger, chose to use the outside cone. One truck goes way high and loses a lot of positions. I think that is the 70 of Curtis Hughes. Also the 62, Chase McAdams, looks like he might have a flat tire. He's slowing up on the front straightaway. I do believe it is a flat tire for the 62 of Curtis Hughes, of Chase McAdams, I should say. Robbie Davis, Jonathan Mullet, Troy Turnage, Tommy Nixon, the top 4 trucks trying to pull away. Caution flag is out for the 62, Chase McAdams, with a flat tire or something that's gone wrong in the 62 truck as he sits between turns 1 and 2 here on lap 15. We've got 10 laps to go. We've got 1 lap to go until the green flag is going to come out, and the 8, Tommy Nixon, chooses to use the cone rule. So does the 52 and the 70. So Chris Bechtel and the 70 of Curtis Hughes will also try it on the outside and see if they have a fast enough truck to maintain and maybe get a few positions. Tommy Nixon was back there in the 4th position. Now he's on the outside of that 17 of Robbie Davis. Robbie knows that the 8 truck has been fast all year, and he is the points leader for the championship. Tommy Nixon. 10 laps to go, make it 11 laps to go until we get to the end of this one. As 14 is up in lights. Now the green flag in the windshield of Robbie Davis. Tommy Nixon tries to hang low, and a spin and a big crash, and a couple of trucks get together and crash over there in turn 2. The 22, the 62 involved, Chase McAdams, and the 22 as well, Dan McAdams. The 2 truck also, Chris Munger. The 8, Tommy Nixon, was trying to stick it down low and take that position away. And the 71 got the worst of that. Jonathan Mullet, he was having a great run tonight in the 71 truck. They're going to go over there and check on the drivers, make sure they're okay, and get those trucks pulled off the racetrack. We're just about set to get back to racing here at Langley Speedway. 1 lap to go, and well, that wreck took care of quite a few trucks. Looking at the replay, it looked like the 71 was trying to get underneath the 8 truck and got a little bit of a tap, or could have gotten one from the 90, but Troy Turnage into him just enough when they get him sideways. 71 went sideways, and then all you know what broke loose, and we had a big pile up over there in between turns 1 and 2. 17 out front looking for victory, and to the outside it is going to be the 70 truck. Curtis Hughes, he falls back a little bit though as Troy Turnage goes underneath, makes the pass. The 8, Tommy Nixon, he's working his way back up. He gets to the inside with Curtis Hughes. The 52, Chris Bechtel, also will make a move on the inside and take away that 4th position if he can pull off the pass, and he does at the exit of 4. 10 laps to go for the Larry King Law Super Trucks. Robbie Davis continuing to lead in the 17 standard welding machine. Robbie Davis of Chesapeake, last year's champion with double medal, standard welding, PNC Mortgage, and signs and graphics to go. About 3.5 truck lengths ahead of the 90 of Troy Turnage. Our points leader right there on the back tailgate of Troy, trying to make that move and take over the 2nd spot. 14, Debbie Biesecker has had her problems tonight, and she will come down pit road. Tommy Nixon all over the back end of the 90 of Troy for that 2nd spot. The 8 truck is coming. He still has enough laps to get up there and make the pass, possibly take the lead away from Robbie if he can pull it off. He's got to get back to 90 first, and Troy Turnage not making it easy for him. Tommy Nixon now looks on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get his nose underneath the tailgate in the bed of that 90 of Troy Turnage. Couldn't do it that time. Had to fall out of the gas a little bit. And now Troy seems to be reeling in the 17 a bit. Troy looking for his first victory here for the Super Trucks for 2011. Robbie Davis, Troy Turnage, Tommy Nixon, Chris Bechtel, Curtis Hughes, the top 5. It is Corey Millard out there just outside the top 5. Here she comes in the 18, and she's in 6th. 1, 2, and 3 so close together. Robbie Davis, Troy Turnage, and Tommy Nixon. Tommy again looks on the inside, falls back in line behind Troy. And again, look at them bumping on each other, nose to tail. 4 laps to go. Robbie Davis getting a little nervous with these 2 right behind him. Troy just about pushes and slides sideways down into the infield on the back straightaway. He gets into the dirt. He also gets into the water, and it splashes up on the inside of the racetrack. And there's no caution flag, so he continues to lose laps as the leaders come by. But nope, the caution flag will come out. So he'll still be on the lead lap, it looks like, but at the very tail end.
All members with a smart checking account and eco-friendly e-statements will be entered to win. So visit one of our 19 branch locations to join today and get better service.
They will run 2 more times in 2011. 1 to go. Here's Mike Allen.
All right, Chuck, thank you. Standard welding on the side of that 17, Robbie Davis, looking for another win out here at Langley Speedway. He's got 2. He's 2nd in the points behind Tommy Nixon with 6 wins. Troy Turnage 3rd in the points, and Troy is right there back in the 6th position. Jonathan Mullet, the 95, is he was racing tonight in the 71. Jason McAdams having some problems tonight. Daniel McAdams also. Buck Munger. But back up front, Robbie Davis, Tommy Nixon, Chris Bechtel, Curtis Hughes, Corey Millard, the top 5. Troy Turnage gets a good start. Talked about Troy. He's back there 3rd in the points, but up there 5th in the race as he was able to get by Corey Millard. Now looks to the outside of Curtis Hughes for 4th. Meanwhile, up front, they paddle it out in the last lap. Tommy Nixon, can he pull off the victory? He's right on the tailgate of the 17 of Robbie Davis. Half a lap to go. Robbie Davis, he sees the checkered flag. He will take the win over Tommy Nixon. Chris Bechtel, Troy Turnage, Curtis Hughes, the top 5. Then Corey Millard in 6th in the 18. Debbie Biesecker being shown in 7th. Chris Munger in the 8th position. Buck Munger in 9th. Dan McAdams in 10th. Chase McAdams 11th. Jonathan Mullet back there in the 12th position. Robbie Davis, our winner tonight at Langley Speedway for the 3rd time in 2011. And up next, the KeysVacation.com Modifieds for 50 laps, followed by the Heritage Motor Company Super Streets for 40, and the Pepsi Grand Stocks coming up for 20 laps, our 2nd race for the Grand Stocks tonight.
Thank you very much, Mike. I'd like to remind everybody the KeysVacation.com Modifieds coming up absolutely next here at Langley Speedway. Rolls-Royce and Waypoint Apartments, Retail Alliance, Larry King Law on board here tonight. We appreciate all those sponsors. Trying to recover and got these next 2 races to see what he can do. A lot of people are going to have to put their trucks together. But here's your winner, Robbie Davis. Cool, refreshing Aquafina water, official water. Robbie, come on out here a second, man. Get you another sip there. Take us. Modified's getting ready to fire up, but Robbie, I tell you, this is a very competitive class, and it seems like you and the A-Truck really have a lot going on there in terms of competition.
Yeah, I'm just glad we made it to victory lane. It's been a while. We really worked on the truck hard. We still got a few things to do, but we'll work on it and see what we do next weekend.
I know you got a lot of sponsors that help you out as well and do a great job.
Yeah, Standard Welding, Dubin Metals, PNC Mortgage, East Coast Customs, and everybody on my crew that helps me out, my mom and dad for helping me out, and my girlfriend for coming out.
A very competitive class, past champion, and like I say, it does heat up and everything, but I tell you what, this thing is on the rail. I don't know what improvements you made to it. You got 2 more weeks to come back out here and put in victory lane 2 more times.
Oh yeah, the 2 weeks is only going to get better, so make sure y'all come on back out.
And Robbie and the entire crew will be here next Saturday night at Langley Speedway.